The way the world works today is through getting a reaction out of you. If my video title doesn't get a reaction out of you, I lost. If my presence doesn't get a reaction out of you, I'm not as attractive as I think I am. If my marketing campaign doesn't get you to buy my product, which is react, then I have failed. The whole world is literally trying to get you to react to them. Or some people like to call it manipulation. And the reason why that is because if they can get you to react, they can change you without you even noticing. For example, right? I'm from the United States, and racism is a big thing in the United States, Lord have mercy. And one of the things that I've noticed about people who are victims of racism is that their reaction to racism, if they're not conscious, they also become racist. If you stare at the abyss long enough, you'll notice it's gonna stare back at you. Whatever you hate, you become if you hate it long enough. So a reaction to racism causes people to develop prejudices about the race that's attacking them, right? So your reaction to being attacked is you become the attacker. Notice how without you even noticing, your reaction to the situation turned you into something you didn't want to be. Your unhappiness, your fear of getting rejected, your reaction to the rejection causes you to act in fear. What you want to be able to do is eliminate the reaction. And there's a way to do that has been taught for thousands of years. And I've seen it in my life, and millions of people have seen it in their lives, right? Let me explain to you what that is. Because most of your negative habits, like addictions, they originally come because your reaction to a situation, right? And usually anything negative about you that you don't like was because at one point you reacted in a way that wasn't conscious. You unconsciously reacted to things without looking at it and observing it rationally. What do I mean by that? Well, and there are in Buddhism there's 4 levels of consciousness, right? I don't know what they call it, but I don't think that's how you call it, but that's how I call it. And the 4 levels of consciousness are this, right? Obviously, consciousness, right? The next one is perception. So when you first receive the stimulus, you first have to have consciousness to receive a perception, right? Once you receive the perception, you start to feel the sensation. Okay? Now you're feeling the sensation, and then you label it as good, you react to it. Good or bad. If it's a good experience, you want to hold on to it. If it's a bad experience, you want to push it away. And this reaction happens at every second of your life. And the problem with it is that these reactions, imagine these are the 4 reactions, happen so quickly that you don't even notice there's any space, to a point where you think this is how it is. You don't think that there's like other levels to it. And this unconsciousness of this reaction, by you not being aware of consciousness, perception, sensation, reaction, by literally not being aware of like the dominoes falling, you lose the ability to control yourself. The way that you bring back control is bringing awareness to the process. Right? Bring awareness to this process. Now, why do you want to bring awareness to this process? Well, when you don't understand how your mind works, it literally starts to control you. It's just how that is. And people who react a lot are victims. They don't have an understanding of their nature, which is your emotions and thoughts are just emotions and thoughts that arise and pass away. And a lot of us hold on to the notion that our thoughts and sensations are reality. And so whenever you feel angry about something, you can't let go because you think you have the right to be angry, without noticing that your reaction is really just an illusion. You don't have to be angry. There's nothing lost by letting go of the anger. But to the ego, to the mind, it feels justified. And that's the illusion I want you to understand. You are not justified. It's one, but the problem is a lot of people have a tough time letting go of that. Let me show you how, right? Look, you have two things that you can focus on: images, thoughts, or sensation, right? You cannot focus on one part without losing focus of the other. Most people focus on their thoughts, and that's why their thoughts feel more real than sensations. Meaning, when something bad happens to you, you literally stop feeling your body. Literally, the sensation of the body becomes numb because the energy is being taken up by your thoughts. Your thoughts remove the ability for you to feel the sensations of your body. Now, what does that mean? That whenever you don't react to a situation, what that means is that you have awareness in the body rather than in your thoughts. But a lot of people ask, how do I do that? Well, that's why people meditate. Because when you meditate, you literally start to see these reactions. You start to notice perception. You notice your consciousness. You're aware that you're here. Boom. First step in consciousness. Now you breathe in and you notice the sensation of the breath. Perception. You notice the breath. And you say, oh, this is boring or not. Now you're noticing the sensation and the reaction. And all you have to do is just sit and observe. Oh, interesting. In your mind, you notice, oh, wow, I want to get up and not meditate. Interesting. But you don't say something. You just notice it. All right. Okay. You notice a desire to meditate and then the desire to not meditate. You notice you feel angry and then it goes away, right? And as you're noticing that your thoughts arise and pass away, arise and pass away, arise and pass away, all of a sudden, whenever you feel angry, you're like, of course it's going to pass away. It's no big deal. You're not going to hear that thought of, fuck that person. You're not going to hear that. Because you're going to know that you have observed thousands of times through meditation that everything arises and passes away, arises and passes away. And this experience literally starts to break through the solidity of the illusion of the ego. That your thoughts are not real and you start to react as though they're not real. So yesterday I was pissed off and the lady that was giving me my stuff, she took too long. Honestly, she took 10 minutes anyways. And then as I was observing, I was like, oh, it's that angry feeling. And then I'm like, but Lexus, she's a fucking bitch. She's taking too long to pack your stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is a sensation. Let me feel the body. Ah, okay. It's almost like, that's why when you do meditation, they tell you don't scratch yourself, right? Don't. Why? Why don't you scratch itches? Because it's very similar. Itch comes, itch passes. Itch comes, itch passes. Itch comes. And what's funny is that whenever you feel the itch, it feels like it's never going to go away. But through you not moving and observing, oh, it's itch and it passes away. Itch and it passes away. You literally start to build up the wisdom because it's very hard for me to tell you you're not your mind. But by you observing the things that you thought were solid and were consistent, when you start to see those motherfuckers move around, you're going to be like, okay, what the fuck? Oh, this is not real. And once you sense it, not a thought, but a realization that your thoughts are not real because you didn't react to the situation, not that you believe your thoughts are not real, but whenever you have an emotion that tells you, do this, you understand it's just a compulsion. You step back. It's the action, not the fucking thought. The fuck, right? So once you see this thousands of times, it's almost like your brain starts to understand its very own nature. And this brings a calmness, a relaxation, a confidence that emanates from you, right? So that's one thing. You bring awareness. So what do? So every day you practice meditation. I swear to God. Like when I walk, I'm feeling my hand or my breath. Like there is very few moments when I'm doing something that my awareness of my body isn't there. Because when you notice a sensation, like feel your hand, for example, right? You feel your hand, and let's just say somebody talks to you. If before you listen to them, you feel your hand and then listen, you'll notice that your ability to listen and your ability to empathize is a fucking Kaioken times 10, people, right? Now, you do this through meditation, right? That's one thing. Next thing. And this is why a lot of people, if you do this, you're going to notice that you might start developing your own habits. Your goals might change. Your friends might change. What makes you happy changes. And this is the next thing that I want you to do, right? In order to detach, you can also bring awareness to the whole body. To whole body. If you want to learn about this, check out Body Awareness by Eckhart Tolle. Chapter 6 of The Power of Now talks about the body awareness, the inner body. Go check that out. I think this is one of the most powerful ways to do that. The way that you do that is to feel the whole body from within. You close your eyes and ask yourself, how do I know that my body's here? And notice what sensation arises. How does it feel to have a body? And all you do is concentrate on the overall energy field of your whole body. And then open your eyes, and as you're perceive the sensation of your body as a primary focus, and my words as a secondary focus, almost as though you're listening with your whole body. Because usually you're listening with your mind, the filter of your mind, right? You want to listen while feeling the body. Don't let your thoughts and prejudices filter reality. Let the sensation of the environment be your filter, not your mind-made reality. And the more you choose to perceive things through the body, meaning listen to me with your whole body, look at me with your whole body. If you do that, the energy that your mind needs to hurt you, to make you suffer, goes away. And you stop, and you actually start to detach, right? And the next way, which is a meditation way of doing it, is simplify your life. Simplify it. The less things you have, the happier people will be. The less profiles you have, the happier you'll be. Disconnect yourself from social media. Because even just having eyes and looking at other people have more success than you, just having your eyes notice those things is hurtful to your self-esteem. Literally, the less people that you see, I swear to God, the happier you'll be. Now, that doesn't mean to not be social. We're not talking about that. We have an excess of seeing people to the point where we involuntarily compare ourselves to other people, right? So simplify your life. Like, stop desiring the best food, the best houses, the best apartment, the best this, the best that. Simplify your life and make your life into a spiritual practice. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way of doing this without spirituality. There's just no way. Because the world that we live in is so has such a gravitational force on us that it's very difficult to detach. And anybody that says they could, I want to see you do that, right? Because it's just difficult. And that's why I recommend you guys check out any form of meditation retreats. Like, you will literally see what I'm talking about. If you want to learn this, just go here, dharma.org. And you'll be able to go to like a free meditation retreat. And it's actually pretty cool, man. Anyways, so remember, you bring awareness to the sensation of the body. It'll automatically minimize the reaction of the mind. And that will allow you to detach. That will allow you to give you the proper distance to become powerful. Because the most powerful people are those who are able to stay centered, grounded within themselves. All right? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Take care.